It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, episode 1000, and I'm Dr. Neil Malik. Hey there, happy Friday, and welcome to the 1000th episode of OHD. We couldn't have made it this far without you, so thank you so much for all your support over the 4 years of this show. Can't believe it's been 4 years. It's truly a pleasure sharing this information with you. Now, usually on Fridays, I answer your questions that you sent in. But since it's the 1000th episode, I thought I would do something a little different. In fact, I thought I would read to you one of my original works. I wanted to share with you a topic that's gaining traction, and I wanted to give you my take on it. And so, without further ado, let's hear today's topic written by yours truly as we optimize your life. Earlier this year, Forbes magazine said one of the top health trends of this year is something called Nicotinamide Adenine Dinucleotide, abbreviated NAD. I learned about NAD when I had to study biochemistry as a nutrition student, but since then it hasn't really come up all that much. None of my patients or clients have ever asked me about it. But the author of this Forbes magazine article claimed that we should, quote, make sure to make NAD supplementation a priority in our health and wellness routines, end quote. I didn't appreciate this bold statement. To make this sort of claim that everyone needs to be taking a particular supplement regardless of who they are and their lifestyle and health history is a bit short-sighted. But I moved on and thought nothing more of it. But just the other day, I happened to hear NAD mentioned again on a podcast I happened to be listening to. So I thought, okay, maybe it's time I address this before it gets any more traction. So here we go. First, what is NAD and why should we care? Again, NAD is short for this long, fancy-sounding compound, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. While it sounds really fancy, it's actually just a type of B vitamin. I'm sure you've heard of other B vitamins like niacin, riboflavin, vitamin B12, and so on. Well, think of NAD as niacin's cousin. When we look at the functions of NAD, we find, like most vitamins, it helps keep the cells in our bodies functioning properly and helps to make sure the body is effectively converting the foods we eat into energy. But again, that's the function of most vitamins. In the case of NAD, it's believed that it has a special function within our cells. It helps keep the cells energized. Bear with me here, I'll explain. Buried inside many of our body's cells are these energy-producing factories. Think of it like your local electric company. You know, the one supplying electricity to your home right now. These little electric companies within our cells are called mitochondria. So what do mitochondria have to do with NAD? Well, remember, we said that NAD helps convert some of the food we eat to energy, just like most vitamins. It turns out that NAD is the one that specifically provides energy to the mitochondria, or the electric companies within our cells. So the question is, if we make less NAD as we age, who's going to supply energy to our cells' electric companies? Is this something we actually need to be concerned about? Well, there are supplement manufacturers that believe yes, we should be very concerned about this, which is why the idea of supplementing with NAD is becoming more and more popular. The particular form of NAD that supplement manufacturers are hoping you buy is called nicotinamide riboside. That's because nicotinamide riboside helps the body make more NAD. Unfortunately, though, when we look at the data, we don't really know if supplementing with nicotinamide riboside does anything at all. In fact, most of the studies were performed in mice, and unfortunately, these mice studies are what many supplement manufacturers refer to when discussing the health benefits of this supplement. There have been a handful of human studies, but they only included a very small sample, like less than 50 people, and only watched them for a short period of time, 3 months or less. More importantly, though, is that there is some concern that increasing the amount of NAD in the body through supplementation may increase a person's risk for developing cancer. In fact, some researchers believe that reducing the amount of NAD in the body may be a way to treat cancer. So here's my bottom line. If you hear or read about NAD or nicotinamide ribose as the next big thing, ignore it for now. Let's wait until scientists are able to study this more thoroughly. If you are concerned that you need more energy for your cells, well, we have to go back to the basics. Consuming a balanced diet that contains mostly whole, unprocessed foods, that would be the ideal. Oh, and you can make your cell's electric companies even larger and more efficient by exercising regularly too. But I'm sure you're not surprised by this advice. And a big thank you to KiwiCo. According to a report from Common Sense Media, kids younger than 8 are spending roughly 30% of their time each day on mobile devices. And if you think you can't remove them from their devices, you'll love KiwiCo. KiwiCo is a monthly subscription box for kids tested by kids. I gifted the Atlas kit to a friend of mine, where he and his daughter bonded over collectible cards and stickers for their customizable adventure book. The materials were of high quality, made to create authentic art, science, and engineering experiences for children. And the best part, your kids won't have to play alone. KiwiCo projects are made for kids of all ages, including you. With 7 lines that help spark creativity and innovation, there is something for every kid in your circle of family and friends. KiwiCo is redefining play with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. Get your first month free on select crates at kiwico.com/OHD. That's KIWICO.com/OHD. Okay, so this Friday's episode did not feature a listener's question, but we will get back to that format next Friday. And don't forget, if you send me a question, first, you make me really happy because I love listening to and answering them, but you'll be entered into a very small raffle every month to win a book. Just come by oldpodcast.com/ask. You can record right from your computer's microphone. It's really easy, and you can even play back your message and do retakes before sending it in. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is 61 I love OHD. All right, that's another week and 1,000 episodes of Optimal Health Daily. Thank you so much for continuing to listen. Thank you for sharing this show. One of the easiest and best things you can do to keep the show going is just sharing it with one person. So I thank you so much for doing that. I hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Stay well. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you back here on Monday where your optimal life awaits.